Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to change out a 2008 Kia Sportage radiator and cooling fan assembly, as well as the hoses, because it's always good to change out the hoses, as well as the fan assembly, as well as the radiator when it's time to change it out. I don't do that, what's that called? The radiator fix thing where you put it in. It just causes gunk in those fans. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright guys, 2008 Kia Sportage and how to change out the radiator. Just a heads up, this is why I'm changing mine. It's because of the fin is probably clogged up or it has a pinhole already and it's old, and the one that is connected to the plastic, which is this, is leaking. So down there near the peacock, you can't really see it right now, it's leaking. This is why I chose to replace this, but it's always a good idea when changing out your radiator to change out the hoses and as well as the fan, you know. Let me show you what I'm dealing with on the bottom. This is it leaks, you know. You can see it like just collecting. The green thing is coolant. Yeah, it's just leaking all over the place, just dripping. So yeah, what we're gonna do next is remove this splash guard. That's the first step of this whole thing. We're gonna go remove this. All right, so first up, what we're gonna do is take out the splash shield under. It's gonna be a 12mm bolt, and we're just gonna screw about like 7 screws loose, and that's what we're gonna do. Let's get to it. Yeah, we got some coolant leaking. All right, so we got our splash shield removed. Yeah, so we're just gonna rinse it down because we're here. We might as well clean it off. And then yeah, don't forget to keep all those screws. It's about 7 screws. Now we're gonna go unscrew the peacock and drain the coolant. We're gonna go drain that peacock. It's like a peacock screw. You're gonna twist that one right there. That's that little one would look like a fishtail. We're gonna unscrew that. But one of my biggest recommendations is when you're gonna do this, you don't do it with a hot engine. Make your engine cool, temperature's cool, everything is cold to the touch. You know, if you're in a coolant, you can open it up because you don't want that bad boy just exploding on you, and also that coolant blowing up on your face. So we're gonna go down there and we're gonna unscrew that peacock, but we're gonna get our catch ready for that. This is the peacock, and we're going to unscrew it. Hopefully we get it good. So as you can see, I'm lightly doing it, but we're just gonna unplug it and it's gonna come spewing out and we're gonna be collecting it. So that's what we're gonna get to it right now. Alright, this is the peacock screw, just so you know. So it's a slow spill that we're doing since we took this off. All we gotta do is take out the top and everything will come out more faster. So yep, it's draining, and now we're gonna go start on the removal of this and also this. It's about like 12 screws because we gotta get to this. We gotta remove the reservoir, the coolant reservoir. But yeah, we're just gonna unscrew these. These are just like those prong things that you pluck out and then unscrew. That's what we're gonna do next. Alright, so we're gonna also be taking out the connectors. And you know my deal, anything that deals with electricity and so forth, you wanna unscrew your battery. Take off your battery. Take out the battery if you're doing anything electronic, and taking out any connectors in your car. Battery next. Alright, so that's how it's gonna look without the little snorkel crap, and also we're taking out the battery like that. Okay, and now we're gonna unscrew the radiator coolant reserve. It's gonna be here. You're gonna take out these little zip tie things. You unplug that. You can unplug this here or here, you know, and over here from the radiator itself. Yeah, so it should be 2 screws. One screw here and another right here. Yeah, so we're gonna take out those 2 screws and the reserve should come out. Let's get to it. There should be 2 10mm bolts that you gotta get loose. on each side. You're gonna want to take that out. Alright, so now we're gonna take out the hoses. I got my hose clamp tool here. We're just gonna take out these hoses. When you do it, coolant will spill out, so be a heads up on that. Oh yeah, we're also gonna unplug this, the connector, and we're gonna unscrew the fan assembly. Alright, so we got the first top of the hose removed, and now we're just gonna take out this part, the connector, for the assembly. Apparently mine's fucking broken. Fork on here. Put that aside over there. Now we have space. We're gonna take out these screws here to unhook the fan. They're also 10mm bolts, so yeah. While we're here, we're gonna be working on taking out the transmission coolant line. Just remember, when you do change out radiators, change out your assembly fan as well as the hoses, because you don't know which one's cracked and or which is old. So yeah, we got the 2 screws loose, and now we can just kind of shimmy it out like this. As always, I want to show you the old and the new. We compare it on both sides, you know, has our connectors there, yeah. All the connectors there, yeah. We got the hooks for when it hooks on, and the 2 holes for the screws. Looking good. Old, new one. But we're not gonna put that in yet because we still gotta take out the radiator. But we're gonna unscrew this bad boy and also take out the hose on the bottom. Let's go. Okay, so there's these 2 lines here, and the big the other radiator hose here. That's the one that we're gonna have to remove. All right, so this is for your transmission lines. Mine's kind of like rust welded on, so we're gonna have to figure that out. All I did was take this out. This is a 18mm, and that one down there is 17. And yeah, you could kind of see some transmission fluid coming out. And then we're gonna take out this hose on the bottom. Okay, so we got the 2 trans coolant line hoses off, as well as the last bottom hose off. Now what we're gonna do is unscrew this part right here. We're gonna take out this part so we can take out the radiator. We're gonna unscrew that. There's 2 screws there, 2 screws here that we're gonna have to remove. And then there should be one more that's kind of hidden in here. But yeah, let's get it. We got the 2 screws loose here, or 1 screw and the hook. This is the hardest one that you're gonna have to get in there. There's gonna be a bolt. I don't know if I can even film it or see it. There it is. We're gonna have to unscrew that. That's also a 10mm. After you take that out, your radiator should be able to pry out and pull open. Yeah. There is an easier way to do this. You just gotta take off your whole grill. Yeah. Also, there is one more here. Just to let you know, it's gonna be hard because we didn't take out the thing. Yeah, it's gonna. This is old and that's a new. What I do want to mention though, comparing the old and new, is also be careful from your condenser, okay? Your condenser's right here. Yeah. When I took it out, I didn't really see it hanging on anything. It was pretty much free floating, the condenser. But yeah. We're gonna try to get these lines loose so we could change it out. All right, so we got the bottom and the top hose loose, and we removed it because we're gonna replace those. So yeah, Alright, so since it was kind of like rust welded, this is what I did. I put some penetrating oil, WD-40, on the thing to kind of, you know, get it in there and penetrate. And then I wrap it with a cloth and I get some grips, and then I just twist it, turn. And now it's free. So now the hoses are gone, and the hoses are free from the copper wire and so forth. Now all we gotta do is do everything in reverse by putting in the radiator and the hoses and so forth. Let's go. All right, so this is the radiator hoses that we're gonna first put back in. We got the new one here, looks similar, and we got the new one here again, looks similar to the new right here, old, new here, old here, new here. You're gonna keep this, you know, and you're gonna put it back the way you first took it out, and that's how we're gonna plug it in first into the engine, and then we're gonna put the radiator in and then onto the radiator. Alright, so now we put the hoses in. We're gonna try to install our radiator. Okay, so this is the radiator and this is your condenser. The condenser hooks on in a weird way. So you're supposed to hook on the condenser. It's free, you know, after you take out the radiator. So you hook it on, and then you're just gonna lock it into those little holes. There's gonna be rubber stops over there in the holes, so don't forget to put that in the right place and don't lose it. There's rubber stops on both sides. Yeah, and then you can lock it in. And then you can screw the two hard 10mm bolts. Alright, so now that we got the clamps on the hoses and also the clamps on these other transmission hoses, we're just gonna put it in, you know. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, we got the radiator in onto the compressor, and now we just got these hoses that we gotta connect. Be careful with these copper ones, you don't want to cross thread them. All the hoses for the bottom and this side is in. We're good. Okay, so now that we got the clamps on the hoses and the clamps and the hoses on the transmission lines for the coolant, we're just gonna tighten them down. This one you kind of don't want to mess up or cross thread, you know what I mean? So kind of get it in there snug. Hand tighten first before tightening. Alright, so like I said, these two bolts that hold this fucking compressor to the radiator, one there and the other one over here, they're fucking motherfuckers if you don't take out your whole grill. But yeah, that's how we did it. We just did it without taking out the grill, and we just stuck our hand between there and we did our best and we tightened. Alright, so we already put the two 10mm bolts, which are really hard to do if you don't take out this grill. Yeah, as you can see, the radiator's in. All we're gonna do now is put the clips there, and then we can put our fan in. So we're gonna go do that right now. Don't forget to take the rubber out of the old that radiator. You're gonna need it for this clip. You're gonna do both sides of the radiator, tighten them both down. Alright, now that we got our radiator in, we can put our assembly fan in. Yep. It's kind of the same way we took it out. We're gonna have to hook it on to the radiator. So that's where. Alright, just like that, we are almost done. What we're gonna do next is just tighten it down, which is pretty much this, and the coolant reservoir, we're gonna put that back. Okay, so sometimes your assembly fan doesn't come with the hardware that's supposed to come, so you could just grab that off the old one You know, put it back right here. That's important. That's for the reservoir. And for this. So because this bad boy is gonna go back right here and where this hose holds. Like here. So now's a good time to connect the upper hose to your radiator. Usually this thing's hard. Alright, so we got the hose, the top hose connected, and we tighten it down. It's all good there. Now, what we're going to do is, remember that this plug, we're going to plug it back in. Off right there. It's good. Get our coolant reservoir. Plug it into this part. Snug. Alright, so we put the top hoses in, we put the bottom hoses in, we put the connectors in, we put the coolant radiator reserve in, and now all we gotta put now is put coolant. How we're gonna do that is, I don't have those fancy things, but I just cut up a bottle like this. We're gonna put it there, we're gonna duct tape it on, and then we're gonna put coolant slowly, and halfway full, we're just gonna start it up until it keeps swallowing it all, and we're gonna kind of like squeeze the hose because we need to purge all of the air, you know. But we're gonna put our heat on and leave it on for like 15 minutes and squeeze the hose so we can purge out all the air. I forgot, we're gonna put back the plastic cover and that little snorkel thing, and then plug in our battery. We're gonna put these bad boys back. Got the snorkel. Okay. Alright, so for 2008 Kia Sportages, the car actually takes 50-50 coolant, but we got the all vehicles 33%. This one is okay. We don't need the antifreeze because we're on Guam. This is pretty much what we're gonna do. Right now, I have my car on and my heater is on. We're gonna leave that on for like 10 minutes. We put it on high and we're gonna watch the coolant. What it's gonna do is gonna purge all of the air that's in the block and also in the radiator, and it's also gonna suck up the new coolant that we're putting in. So now we're just gonna watch it as it pulls. We're gonna give it like 10 minutes and then we're gonna add more when it drops. But we're also gonna be kind of squeezing the hoses so that way we know that it's sucking up the coolant, the new coolant. And then we're gonna also put some in the reserve. 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. When you do squeeze these hoses, watch out for your hands. The fucking fan is moving, you don't want to chop it off. After that, I think you're done. Also, since you do change the radiator, these are actually for the transmission, you know? So the transmission oil does get mixed up, and you do lose some when you do take it out. So always remember to check that transmission oil, you know? I'm still on the high, we're okay. When you do replace your radiator, that's a good tip for you. Check out your transmission oil because you do lose some from when you do change out those lines. What you're going to want to do now is, as it's sucking up the coolant, you can see it's empty. We're going to go put more. We're going to just keep adding as it keeps sucking up the new coolant. See the bubbles, it's purging out the air from the inside. It'll get lower. This bad boy is supposed to take at least 2 gallons, 2 to 3, so we only put one full gallon, so we're waiting for this other gallon to be put in. Okay, so it's on high, the heat is on high, and we're watching also the temperature. Usually you want it below C, but we're okay, it's a little high. That means there's still some air in the block. It's already been almost 10 minutes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it be a little more, and then we're gonna keep squeezing the hoses. Be careful for that. And then when we shut it off, we're going to put back the bottom splash shield. But pretty much, yeah. Oh yeah, I also took out the funnel. I closed off the cap. Now we're just gonna watch the reserve. Everything sounds good and smooth. That new fan makes the shit blow better. The radiator, the temperature's down, and yeah, the hoses, you know, it's pretty firm. They're cracked. Squeezing them still, trying to purge out more air, you know. So yeah, from now on, we're just gonna watch it. We're gonna give it a drive for, like, you know, the day, and then we'll check if it's leaking or anything, so forth. But yeah, I think we're okay. Let's go turn it off and put back the splash shield, and I think we're done. Yeah, so that's pretty much how to change a radiator and the hoses and the assembly fan. I didn't really go into details about this, and I didn't really film. My camera gear is acting up. I'm sorry, but I hope this helps you for whoever owns 2008 Kia Sportages. And yeah, if you need help, leave a comment below. I don't care if this video is old. I'm down to help you out, and whatever information I have, leave a comment below. Like this video if you liked it. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here, or dislike the shit. Yeah, pretty much subscribe to your boy. Peace out, and that's how to do it. I'm Mark.